So it's our first scouting day. We hiked in last night in the dark, got to my camp spot at about 10 p.m. or so. So never been here, never hunted this state. First time getting in here, just e-scouted back home on Onyx. It's definitely a little thicker than I'd like. The visibility is not great, but I think it's gonna open up a little bit more as we go. We just picked up a little bachelor group of 4 bucks, 2 small and 2 medium. One of them might be like a last day shooter. He's super wide, but not much mass. But picked up a couple elk too, so I'm excited that we already got eyes on some deer and some elk, and we're just gonna spend the day kind of exploring. We're gonna run this ridge top. Tomorrow morning's the opener. It's always nice to get in a day early and just get eyes on new country, so see what we see today and make a game plan. All right, so it's about 10 o'clock on our first scouting day in here. We're in late September, and this is a muzzleloader hunt. It's an open sight or 1 power optic muzzleloader hunt. We decided to come up basically as high as we could in the unit to just kind of get a lay of the land and see if we could see where the deer were at, where the bucks were at, and then work our way down. You never really want to like leave deer to try to find deer. So I think we should definitely give this spot a little bit of time. I've never hunted deer with a muzzleloader before, so we're going to have to get in a little closer, do some good stalks. The thing for me on this hunt is I'm really trying to be a little more patient on this hunt and really aim for a higher age class of buck. Hopefully we can find something nice and put a good stalk together. As long as we can, manage the other hunters and the pressure a little bit and get in some good spots and find a big one, I think we got a good shot. So.
Alright, it's opening morning. We came up to the spot where we were yesterday afternoon. Kinda hoping to see if we could catch some deer on this face before they kinda get pushed around with some pressure. So we got up here about 6:30. You're just starting to be able to see now. Picked up a few elk and I got 1 deer so far. I think it's a doe though. We kinda decided to give this open stuff a shot on the first morning, since we haven't seen anybody else back here. We were kind of debating between this or really looking at some deeper, thicker timber. So we'll see if it pays off, but we're not in a rush. We got plenty of time. We're gonna be patient. It's a beautiful day. The wind calmed down a little bit, and we're ready to go. So we'll just see what we see. Go from there.
All right, well, the plan kind of worked and it kind of didn't. We did see deer. We did pick up that bigger buck from last night. I'm watching him right now. Trying to put him to bed. He's not something I think that we're gonna really try to go after hard on the first day. But just seeing that he's the biggest buck we've seen so far, I wanted to see if I could just at least get an idea of where he's bedding. Nobody's up here, which is good. But yeah, we're just gonna have to figure out and try to find something larger. Yeah, decent morning. Glad we saw some deer. Glad we found that bigger one. Maybe we can have that in the back pocket for later in the week, possibly. But yeah, still just trying to make the most of the time and try to find a good buck. So time will tell. Finally just picked up Another deer for this afternoon. It's been a pretty long day. I think the last deer we saw was around 10 a.m. and it's 5:45. So finally just picked up one. It's a little doe, but I think they should start popping out here more and more as the time goes on, but we shall see what the evening holds. So it's 6:35. I glassed up a coyote down here and I saw him looking up at those deer, those 4 bucks, and then I just noticed they were joined by a 5th deer. I could tell the body was bigger, and I just caught a glance of one back fork on one side. So I don't think he was like big, but he was bigger than the other ones. It looks like they came back out. Let me see if I can pick him up. Yep. He might be a 4-point. Can't quite tell. I need to turn his head. He's got 2 back forks. Still can't quite get a good look at him. He's facing away. So yeah, our patience paid off hanging out up here all day. From about 6:45 on, there's deer popping out everywhere. To be honest, I kind of lost count. I think we probably saw about 30 deer. I think probably 20 of them were bucks, maybe more. There's still deer all over this face. So we saw one smaller, but good looking little 4-point down here. And then across over this way, we saw one that he wasn't like a mega giant or anything, but good frame, pretty good mass, eye guards, nice 4-point. I'm really pleased with what we saw tonight. Would have been great to see a mega, but we saw one that's a solid buck and a lot of deer. So good evening for sure. And it's beautiful out here. Well, it's like 2:30. We had a couple guys rolling up here. They might have shot a buck. So, we're gonna go back down towards camp and go out one of these finger ridges and glass back towards where we saw those first deer the first day we were in here. And see if maybe there's more deer in the timber. But not a whole lot of point in sitting around here too much longer, so we're gonna pack up and get out of here. Right like clockwork at 6:45, we started picking up some deer. And we found this same bachelor group that we spotted. We picked them up again on the same hillside. And the more I started looking at that wide one, like he's a pretty good deer. We're not gonna make any solid plans yet, but I think the game plan is gonna be come back here tomorrow morning, see if we can pick him up again. If we can, and he's in a good spot, and we can put him to bed, and the opportunity's right, maybe we try it. We can make that call then, but or maybe we leave it and kind of keep this guy in the back pocket. after our last interview last night, like kind of as we were about to pack up, we heard a shot. Not exactly sure where, but pretty close. I don't think they were shooting at those deer we were looking at, but it's possible. We never saw the hunter, but the shot was pretty close. It was close enough it spooked the deer a little bit. And it startled me too, so I didn't see exactly where they went, and then I lost them, and it got kind of dark. But that's public land hunting, so I'm gonna hang out here a little bit longer and keep looking. Well, the elk put on a show this morning, but the bucks were a no-show, unfortunately. So we only saw one deer this morning, a little doe. So I feel pleased with what we accomplished here. We passed up on a couple opportunities at some smaller deer and one medium. So we're gonna pull out and head on to the next plan. And see if we can find something this afternoon in a new spot. Made it into the second spot. Not gonna lie, I underestimated the difficulty getting in here a little bit. It was really thick when we dropped off, and then we kind of were walking this rock face that was pretty steep, but it was only about a mile, but it took us like an hour. We had like 850 feet decline and like 600 incline. So there's this nice kind of flat shaded spot right here where I was planning to camp, which is pretty nice. And then we can just pop up over this rock face right here, and we should be able to see into this valley we've been looking at. It's a spot that I found on e-scouting, and I literally have a pin that says must see. It was a bit of a grind getting in here, so we're gonna spend the night here. We're gonna glass it tonight, and then glass it in the morning and see what we see. So we don't know if there's gonna be deer in there. It's a gamble, but I don't think we're gonna see any other hunters back here. I don't think anybody's gonna do that, probably. So we might get some deer to ourselves, but we'll see. This was actually one of the first spots I found e-scouting, and it just looked so cool. It's kind of hard to get to, but you got all these cliff faces and this nice flat valley at the bottom with tons of good green grass in it. We saw some tracks coming in here. I feel pretty good about this spot. It would be a chore to get a deer out of here. But it's a cool spot. Regardless of the deer, this is like worth seeing. This is amazing. Alright, so it's 7 o'clock. Just like they have been. A couple of deer popped out about 6:35, 6:40. We got 2 does and a spike down here. But we've been looking pretty hard. We haven't seen anything else. A little surprising. I don't know. Maybe it's too open. We still could see something, but
No bucks yet. Or no big bucks.
All right, well, a little disappointing. I knew coming in here is a pretty big gamble, as it always is, in a spot you're going into blind, but not super easy to get here. So we were really hoping it would pay off, and we had high hopes when we saw it yesterday, but we're thinking this close to the mountain, the bucks that are in this area are still up high. And, you know, we saw 4 deer this morning, same ones probably from last night. Definitely a few of them the same ones. Saw that same spiker and a couple does, but just not much doing down here. So we're calling it a little early. It's 9 o'clock. We're gonna head back, pack up camp, and pack out of here. And I'm thinking for this weekend, we're gonna go just check out the desert. We haven't really spent any time truly in the desert in the southern part of the unit. We got to at least just give it a day or two to like see what's in there. If not, we'll, we scratch it off the list, and maybe by Monday or Tuesday, when a lot of guys are headed back to work, we can come back up here to the high country and pick up another buck. So can't say we're not trying hard, that's for sure. Just didn't pan out, but we'll find him. All right, well, we're gonna try something different. As you can see, we're in a completely different ecosystem. We're out here in the desert. We kind of just felt like we need to cross this off the list, see what's out here. Not sure if we're gonna find any deer or not, but we loaded up the ATV, and we're gonna hit this ATV road and just kind of stop at different knobs and glass for a while and just work our way and just stay mobile and see as much country as we can and try to see if we can find any deer. Should be pretty fun either way, but we'll see what we find.
It's just really cool out here. We saw one possible buck cruising back here, and I did pick up 2 does and 2 fawns down here. They were walking down a trail, and I just lost them. They just evaporated. But I don't know, there's gonna be less deer density in here, but I just feel good about it. Like, we're gonna give it some time. It's gonna take a little effort, I think, to find deer, but I think we're formulating a good plan for tomorrow, so I'm stoked to be here. There's nobody back here. So, if nothing else, it'd be a good weekend to plan. When the other spots are full of people, hopefully we'll have this kind of to ourselves, and then if it doesn't pan out, we can head back to the mountain.
All right, we're headed out. See if we can find a deer in the desert one more time. Let's make it happen. end of our first full day in the desert. And this is the first day we have not seen a single deer all day. So, pretty rough. I feel like every hunt has an arc. Probably kind of at the bottom right now, but we're physically and metaphorically heading back to the mountain. And we're gonna find us a buck. All right, it's Sunday morning, 9:45. We kind of had a cruisy morning. Last night I decided just to not get up super early and charge out somewhere this morning, just based on what we've been seeing. And I was pretty tired yesterday, so but I did wake up about 6 and went off just kind of by myself. Honestly, just kind of needed to get some time away and just kind of get my head right, but felt good about that. I did one more little last glassing session. I did pick up a deer. Funny enough, it was in the next unit over. But I feel like we came in here, we gave it a good try. We crossed it off the list. We saw it was in here. The deer density is just super low. So we are going to spend the rest of the morning just kind of packing up, organizing, and head back into the mountains. We got options up there depending on what the pressure's like and what we're seeing. So probably won't pass up too many good opportunities on mature bucks, but I got faith we can get it done. So a little bit of work and we'll be out of here. We're back at camp, but I wanted to run you through real quick my muzzleloader on this hunt that I've been using all week. This is a CVA Acura LRX. So it's got the 2-inch longer barrel on it, which arguably gives you a little bit better velocity and accuracy. Super easy operation, just a brake breech here, primer here, and load down the barrel, of course. I'm running this one with a muzzle brake. This is the older model, but CVA has a new one as well, but that really cuts down your recoil, makes this thing a dream to shoot. And you got your adjustable cheek piece back here, and really been impressed with the CVA muzzleloaders. They're super accurate, easy to operate, easy to clean, and yeah, it's a great gun. So check them out, CVA.
On the other side of the range from where we started, and we hiked into a spot about a mile and a quarter in here, and it looks pretty good. There was tons of sign coming in here. We're looking at a really beautiful mountain face right here with great grass on it, aspens, pine trees. So and then behind us is a field with a bunch of sign in it. So gonna mainly focus on this and periodically pop over to the other side and check, but I can't imagine we don't see something in here tonight. Whether it's a buck, we'll see, but I'm just gonna settle in and wait and see what we see, but I feel good.
All right, well, To be honest, it's been a little bit of a grind, this hunt. It's been probably 6 days since we've seen a decent buck, and we probably passed like a dozen forkies or, you know, small threes. And you know, sitting up there thinking like, you know, should I just go after one of these small deer or something? And you know, I think in the past I may have gone after one of those deer and may have shot one of those deer just to fill a tag. But I've been really asking the Lord lately to help me with my patience. So I really feel like I need to stick to my guns on this one and wait for a deer that I'd be happy with and proud of. And you know, even if that means leaving here without killing a deer, you know, I can live with that. But just be careful when you ask the Lord for patience, because you just might get what you ask for. The deer just popped out of the quakies down there. So we think we found the buck. He's, you know, he's not feeding right out in the open like they were the other night, or else we might try to run down there, but he just fed back into some timber, so I'm just trying to keep an eye on the spot. I couldn't quite tell in the spotter if it was him, but I could definitely tell it was a nicer deer than what we've been seeing the last couple days. He's still in the area, that's good. We definitely can't make a play in that scrub oak though, there's no way. He'd have to be out in the open. So me and Jamin are gonna look at maps later and come up with a plan, but I feel like we have to at least try this guy again tomorrow morning, since we know he's probably gonna be in the area. So, but can't do anything tonight, so we're gonna pack up and get out of here. Got a pretty long walk back. Buck down here was a no-show this morning, and it's been pretty brutal wind and cold, but we're just about to pack up. And I was talking about how I was like, obviously I'm not gonna quit, but I kind of feel like quitting, to be honest. Just kind of at my wit's end. And I look with my naked eye and I see a big, I can just tell by the size of it, it's a big deer. Like in these little pastures down here, I've been watching like a little bit this morning. There were some does out there earlier. There's an ATV track that goes like right through there. And there's another hunter in the area, or at least there was earlier. But I grabbed a spotter real quick and got it on him. This nice buck, probably the biggest buck we've seen like this whole hunt. Problem is he was kind of running, and I lost him in some quakies, but you know, I have no idea what that means or what we should do necessarily, except for maybe try to go still hunt down there. It seems like a long shot, but I don't know. At least we saw a big buck. I don't know. So we're gonna try something different, change it up a little bit, and try still hunting. So we dropped the truck off here, and we dropped the ATV off a ways that way. And so we're basically gonna do this little 2-mile circuit and see if we can find some deer. So I don't have a lot of experience hunting like this, but we'll see how it goes. Got nothing to lose.
across this pretty good sized, really nice, grassy, like meadow back here that you can't see from the road, and there's no real way to get here easily. So it probably doesn't get hunted much. So we decided to kind of just hang out here, and I think a buck's gonna come out tonight in this meadow. Pretty much anything that comes out in here is in range. And we just haven't been having luck, going to glassing knobs. So we got good bedding all around us. The wind's pretty good right now. It's about 175 yards to the end of this, so Lord willing, we'll have a buck step out and we'll get a shot. Yeah, that's the end of the second to last day, so we're going to have to figure something out for tomorrow and just hunt hard till the final buzzer. That's all we can do. Alright, so it's October 1st. We're gonna try some still hunting today. So I got a little extra sleep. It's 10 a.m. Deer are still kind of on their feet, but we're gonna work down this little ridge. It's got some dark timber and some quakies. And just hopefully the thermals will be rising. And we're just gonna still hunt down through there real slow. See if we can find a buck.
It's the last day. We're going on a wing and a prayer. We decided to come all the way back to the spot we started. So it'd be amazing if we could come full circle, find that buck again, but it's just the best option we had left. So we're gonna try it and see what happens. Got about a mile and 1,000 feet in, and see if we can find him.
Left. Haven't seen a thing. Barely seen any movement anywhere in this whole valley. So, I don't know. Not much going on, but it ain't over till it's over, but it's almost over.
We hunted hard for 9 straight days, dark to dark, and to be honest, this hunt was absolutely brutal. But we didn't give up till the very end. We saw a lot of deer, and though looking back, I wish I had prioritized going after that big wide buck in the beginning, I still came out of this hunt proud of myself for sticking to my guns and not shooting a smaller deer. So it was definitely an adventure in some of the coolest country I've ever been in. But you can't win them all, and if I'm honest, this one stings.